There is an excitement in the air today, an incredibly active magnetic field. I don't know if you can feel it, but it's very present, separately from the energy which I've become aware of today. And just to say, the reason that I say I've become aware of the energy, it's how I describe it every day if you watch my videos and my channels. And the reason I do that is because in my experience, the energies of those who have passed and of the consciousness, the unitive energy, the ET energy, the angelic energy, all of it is present all the time in my experience. Obviously, I don't know, but this is my experience of it. And so when an energy becomes apparent to me, it's simply because my energetic field is able to recognize it in that moment. So it's not that that energy steps in and then steps out. It's that I step in and I step out. So that's why I say I've become aware of an energy. And today's energy is very powerful. It's always powerful. But today, as I sat in meditation with the singing bowls that I tune into on YouTube, and I'll share the link below and also at the end of this video, I became aware of an energy that has become present for me before. And I see this energy in this way because it's the way I need to see it in order to receive the information that it has to share. And it is the unitive energy, the energy of all that is, the energy of the divine, the energy of God. And God's message today, the unitive energy's message today, is a really important one. And just to describe how I see this energy when it comes through in this way for me, I see it as a gorgeous Tanzanian woman sitting in a very simple throne, a cushioned, simple throne, not adorned, not embellished at all. And I see her wearing this gleaming white pantsuit, which I encourage you to let go of any associations with white pantsuits, although there may be meaning behind that. But this is really individual to this way of seeing the unit of energy, this beautiful gleaming pantsuit. Everything she's wearing is white. And as I see her today, she's sitting in her throne and she's got a lace umbrella over her and she's drinking a tropical drink, interestingly. And I think it's that jaunty, exciting energy. And part of her message today is to let us know that we have ample opportunity to key into that excitement today. Even if you're not feeling it yourself, even if you're feeling laden, weighed down, heavy, you can shift that by keying into this incredibly frenetic energy so that you can complete or begin or continue certain projects that you have in your periphery. They could be creative projects or they could be mundane projects that aren't fun to do at all. But she's letting us know that energy is very present today. But also there's more. It's it's this idea of the personification of God. And the way I'm seeing the energy of God through this beautiful Tanzanian woman whose hair, I don't know if I mentioned, is very close to her head, short. Um, and she's not outstanding physically in any way. It's not that she's 6'5" and, all of that. She's actually quite average looking, but the power around her is what is so stunningly beautiful. And how could it not be? It's the energy of God. But she wants to remind us that sometimes the way we need to receive information from the unit of energy, from God, is through the personification of God. Our limited minds need to make material that energy so that we can receive from it. usually in terms of intellectual messaging. And so our minds create material form in order to receive it. But what she's encouraging today is that we let go of that personification after we've received the information that we're being given. Because continuing to personify the unitive energy, the energy of God, limits us. It separates us from that energy. It makes it so that there is some being in the sky, as many people put it, looking down and pulling the puppet strings. And it's just not the way it is. We are in a soup of consciousness. That's why I call God the unitive energy, because we are in a soup of consciousness. We are in a shared field, the field of all that is. And so God is not separate from you. God is not separate from me. God is within us and we are within God. God is within you. God is within Venus. God is within Saturn. God is within my father who has passed. God is within your mother who is living and my mother who is living. God is in the rock. God is in the fish. For many of dogmatic inclination, that is blasphemous to suggest that God could possibly be a part of the chair in front of me. But it's just true, mainly because our understanding of the universe is such that we must create material in order to exist in it. And so if we were to step outside of this brain and be in energy again, as we are when we pass, when we leave the body, we would understand that the material in front of us is merely a way for our limited brains to make sense of everything around us and to become singular in purpose so that we can survive. But all of it, everything, all the matter, all the material is really just a figment of a mind that must make sense of a vast consciousness that is impossible to survive in without creating a path through it, a visual path. And so, since that is true, and that's not just me channeling that information or the unit of energy giving that information, that is a scientific fact as we know it today. Although scientific fact shifts and changes, and I'll share a video that I created a few days ago about that, channeled information from Albert Einstein. But since today that is our scientific understanding of reality, how can God not be in the chair in front of me? How can God not be in the tray that I have on my ottoman in front of me? How can God not be within you and me and our dogs and cats and the energy of those who have left their bodies around us? How can God not be in all of it? And so, if we don't let go of the personification of God, once we've received the information that God, the unit of energy, has shared with us, then we get locked into the separation of God and we're unable to bring God into the present, into ourself. And what that does is makes it harder to anchor love and light and compassion and healing into our reality because we think it comes from outside of us. And so the first step toward removing the separation, the unit of energy says to me in the form of this Tanzanian woman, is to let go of the pronouns that we use for God. And it's interesting that in the past 10 years, the transgender movement has pointed to the use of pronouns. I think that is part of the microcosm of that community, but I also wonder if there's a macrocosm aspect of that, that God is sending this message through the transgender community. So what does that mean? It simply means not using he when talking about God, not using she when talking about God. How do you do that? Well, for instance, rather than saying, God blessed me today, he is great, say, God blessed me today, God is great. And that seems simple, it seems unimportant, but it's not unimportant. Not only because it is exclusionary, but more importantly, even though that is quite important, but more importantly, because when we apply a pronoun to God, to the unit of energy, we separate the unit of energy from us. It's a separate being. It's a personified version of some person in the sky, and that's not God. Once we bring God into us, once we accept that God is into us, not bring God into us, but bring God into our consciousness within us, intellectually accept that we are God, love and compassion and kindness and hope and forgiveness and peace begin to anchor our reality. And we can move past these wars, these competitions, and this consumption and this destruction, and evolve to who we really are. Thank you.